I wanted to talk about some of the things from my late daddy. I've been going through some of the boxes and stuff of his and some of the stuff he's given us. Went through some of his parents' stuff we got from the house when they left their house about 20 years ago. A few random thoughts on each thing. Yeah. Um, there's a $2 bill up there. My great granddaddy Pop, his mother's daddy, used to give us a $2 bill every Christmas. So I put a $2 bill up there. That's not actually one he gave us. I spent those like an idiot. A couple of knitting needles I found of Grandma Maxine's. I never saw her knit, but I think she did. Little sewing thing that was in one of her little boxes. A little bobber. I guess Dad fished some. This was in one of his cigar box things. Nice little Christmas tag. We used to get those on the present from her. Some old, these are actually little sewing kits that Grandma Maxine got when she was in that house. Wonder Bread, I remember Wonder Bread. I don't know much about the Buick thing. Granddaddy Leroy's brother had a Buick place. Maybe that's why she got that. These little things were some sort of, what does it say? Spiritual vitamins. She had some packets of those. Little booklet of sayings and stuff. See, directions: take one a day, preferably before breakfast. Mix well with faith. To improve spiritual and physical health. Yes, she signed one of them. I guess she was giving them out to people. That's her writing. Grandma Maxine. I guess that's where she got them. Easter Sunday in 1960 at the Arkansas Baptist Hospital. No, it says Easter Sunday 1959. I don't know why she wrote twice on that. One of the main ones, John 3:16, which is pretty important for a Southern Baptist. Over here, these two little notebooks, you won't be able to read what's in them, but she used to doodle all day. She'd sit on the front porch writing in these little notebooks about people being sick or not doing real well. She had a little notation system, AD, which meant they're really not doing well. A bunch of stuff in there about dates of birth of people when she was sitting around figuring out how old everybody was and how old her people her age were and her mama and things like that. You see that? She it's a little song I wrote, kind of that made use of a bunch of her sayings. She used to call Dad Fip. And I remember Nana Jane, once when she first visited Grandma Maxine kept mentioning Fip, and she was always wondering, who is this Fip person that she keeps talking about? Like some brother or something? And it took her a while to figure out that Grandma Maxine was talking about Dad. So it's got a couple things in there. She said that there's Dems not cows, Dems bulls, which she said the twins said once. It has our little nicknames in there, a little reference to Lucinda breaking her leg on a slide when she was 3. I was there when that happened. Grandma Maxine was with her down at the park in Warren. this little saying that Pop used to do. He would go, "Railroad crossing, watch out for cars. Can you spell that without any R's?" He used to say that joke every time. Of course, then we'd go, "Well, what? I can't do that." And he'd go, "THAT." So he loved that little joke. This is jumping ahead. Picture of Dad with a couple of crazy performers of some kind. I don't know who they are, but he's obviously having a good time. He loved making characters like that and working with them. I mean, he really loved it. That's a gold record that Dad got framed for us. He worked with Dennis Lord, who wrote the song, co-wrote the song "Country Club" by Travis Tritt, and it did really well. That's 500,000 copies, more than 500,000 copies. So he got us a little framed thing of that. We were living in Nashville at the time, so we saw a good bit of that because he was in Nashville working. Some little backstage passes kind of stuff. People he worked with. McDaniel, that Trashy Woman tour with Confederate Railroad. The Harlan Howard birthday bash. Harlan Howard's a writer, songwriter. That's actually ours. He would always get us into events going on with all the big wigs. We're really good writers and stuff, and so that was our VIP pass to go to that event. He went to the Opry all the time, so I got a couple pictures of his from that. That's little Jimmy Dickens at the Opry singing one night. Let me see. Some stuff over. He worked with George Jones a little bit, and so here's kind of a informal, casual picture of George Jones when they were done doing something somewhere. Here's a picture of Dad. I think that's when he was a senior in high school. Maybe he was in college. For comparison, there's me about the same age. Little knickknacks that were in his cigar box. That's the cigar box up there. I put a little Coke on it because every time we went to Grandma Maxine's, she always had cold little Cokes, and so we'd have a little cold Coke or Dr. Pepper. So little Cokes. Some little Deputy Sheriff thing. Here's a picture of Dad with, I think that's Ronnie McFarlane. I only know that because he's on the back. It's written on the back. They're just kind of mugging it up for a little photo booth thing. That was a good friend of his growing up. I never met him. Kennedy for President pin. He was a supporter of Kennedy at the time. He was 18, 19 when Kennedy was running, maybe a year younger. That was in his little cigar box. This is from a Felix the Cat Kids game that we used to always play, us kids, me, Cinda, Mark, and John, when we went over there. That's the front of it. It's kind of a silly little game, not any strategy involved in it. But we liked playing that when we were there. She has a lot of these little sewing kits. See? With this kind of shiny stuff, little nice needles and stuff. Pretty. I don't have a picture of Grandma Maxine here, but I do have a picture of Granddaddy Leroy. This is a picture I found. That's me and Cinda. He's opening some little present we got him. I don't know if that was his birthday or Christmas, probably birthday. He's acting nice. Open it. That's in her little kitchen. I have so many memories of. See the little coffee maker. She used to always make coffee. We'd make coffee. She'd make a little toaster thing. There's a little room behind him where the TV was, underneath that lamp. I remember when I spent the night with her on a Saturday night, we would watch football games on ABC. You couldn't get the channels very well, so we'd always have to mess with the antenna. Um, there's a lot of good memories from that. There was a rocking chair in there. I think one of the twins got it. That was to sit in. I used to love that. That's the back door out to their backyard. Behind that, here's one of Granddaddy Leroy's ties I found. I don't think it's the same one he was wearing. But all of his ties were clip-on, and I definitely appreciate that. So he always wore clip-on ties tied perfectly. Here's a little thing for your phone and valuables when you're at an event. That's something Dad got. I think this might have been from when he was having a concert up in Jasper. He had a little place up there and had built an amphitheater. And he brought some big folks up there to play for all the people to come listen to. Some more stuff. Let's see, this is a little certificate from the First Baptist Church of Warren, Arkansas, 1956. That's recognizing Granddaddy Leroy as a deacon. 7 years before I was born. Here, found a little receipt of something Granddaddy bought at Hurley Hardware in 1962. I can't read what that says that he bought, but one thing cost $6.50, one thing cost $2.50. So at the time, they were probably, I don't know what those things were. Some little jewelry thing Grandma Maxine had. This is Jill. There's nothing in this notebook, but it has Dad's writing on it. He got somewhere. I thought that was kind of cool. Grandma Maxine had a lot of little things sitting around where she'd written down parts of hymns or something, and this is from the Baptist Hour, July 18th, 1965, about faith. Oh, the 4 hymns they sang. 'Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus. I know whom I have believeth. Faith of our fathers. And the special was faith is the victory. I know a couple of those hymns. This is from the Stockyard restaurant, and they had a little bar/music thing downstairs where we used to go and see Tommy Jennings sing with Dad, because Dad did stuff with him. He was real funny. Dad used to always sing. He had the song, and just a bowl of butter beans, to the tune of Just a Closer Walk with Thee. Dad used to always say that phrase out loud, sing it. They had good steaks too. It was down near the river in Nashville. We went there several times with Dad when we were there, and he was there. He was real nice. This is a notebook with Dad's when he was in high school, and he had stickers for John F. Kennedy and Lyndon Johnson. And also written on it, it says, Phil Lyon for vice president and Ronnie McFarland for president. So I guess they ran themselves together for high school government. I don't know if he won or not. These are some pine cones I picked from down in Warren somewhere, just because pine trees are kind of embedded in my background just from Arkansas, really, but Warren has seemed to have a whole lot of them. And in East Tennessee, you don't see them as much, but every time I see a pine tree, it instantly brings back memories, nice memories from growing up, going down there with all the pine trees everywhere. More Granddaddy Leroy stuff. I found this, actually, it's a slingshot. He used to make all these little goofy things. One thing he made was an ice pick cover, which was something you put on the tip of your ice picks, and he used to always give those out. I couldn't find any of those. This is a slingshot he made. He used to solder stuff from little pieces of metal he found or had sitting around in his messy shop that I used to love going to. So that's a little slingshot he made, and he said he had them to shoot at the stray dogs that would come around the shop, we call it. His Leroy line garage, what we call it at the shop. And for ammunition, he would use watch batteries. And I found a whole basket, Easter basket, of watch batteries, hundreds of them that he had. I don't know where he got all these watch batteries, but that's what he used to shoot them with. And I think he let me shoot a few times, but he really used that thing, and he really made that thing. This is a little later, way later, 2008. It's kind of not a very good picture, but this was when Miley Cyrus was really, really big in the country scene, and she was hosting the CMAs or something. And Dad got her tickets, her and Mallory and Rachel, tickets to the CMAs to see Miley Cyrus. And also he was able to somehow swing backstage passes, so they got to go behind and meet everybody. They met Snoop Dogg, they met Brad Paisley, and they did meet Miley Cyrus. And this is what this is a picture of, and whoever took the picture only got their legs. So I'll point here. This is Eva. She was 11, I think, then, about to turn 11. I think that's Mallory with her arm around Miley. That's Miley right there. Oops, sorry. Miley. And Rachel being all excited. So all we got were their legs. I like that picture. Here's another picture from the Opry. That's Roy Acuff singing at the Martha White Flower Hour or whatever. Here's another picture of Roy Acuff doing his signature thing with the bow, fiddle bow. And let's see, this is a picture of Randy Travis. When we were there, Randy Travis was just starting to be big, and he was really big. And Dad got us a signed, autographed picture of Randy Travis. And that actually says, what does it say? Oh, thanks for your support. Oh, that carries me on it. We met him once at L&N Seafood over there on West End. Karen always loves to tell that story because she joked with him about having eaten dolphin. And then Randy Travis said something about Flipper or something. Laughed. Let's see. This is a picture of Kenny Stabler, who I remember growing up, but Dad got me a picture, an autographed picture of him that he gave me for my birthday or Christmas sometime, or maybe he had it in one of his boxes. Here's a picture of Dad a little later. And above it, this was in Grandma Maxine stuff. She had some of the Arkansas Law Reviews. And Dad was the editor of it his second and third year, which I think is pretty impressive considering law school was 3 years. So after 1 year, he became the editor of the Arkansas Law Review. He was the editor for 2 years. And I clipped out, he had a couple of articles, the ones that she had, that Dad had probably given her. I kind of clipped out the conclusions to have some of the style of his writing in there for a 22-year-old or whatever. I'm pretty impressed. Here's a picture of Dad with, I think that's the guy's name was Tommy James or something. He was a sax player, and Dad and him did some stuff together. I remember going to see him play. I don't know who the woman is. I should. Maybe it's one of the Judds. I don't know who the blonde guy is, that's for sure. You can even see. Kind of looks like me from that angle. That's not me. Here is an autographed photo of Joel Sonnier, who is a Cajun musician, Zydeco or whatever, and he's really good. I drove him to the airport once after something. He was a real nice guy. This one is actually autographed to Jane. She might want it back. Here, let's see, this is from Dad's stuff when he was a teenager. Kind of a thing about John Kennedy. And then later in life, when he supported more on the Republican Party, he got a art picture of Ronald Reagan that this is presented to Dad for. They put 2 L's in his name. Sorry, Dad. But he had this hanging in his office in his Nashville house. So he liked that, I think. This little ticket is from the 1984 World's Fair that he went to. I was in Centenary at the time, and he flew me down from Shreveport to New Orleans to go to the World's Fair with him and Jane. And I remember that was a pretty interesting thing to go to. It was pretty fun. It's one of the things, you know, he was always doing stuff to get us places and meet people and whatever. He really liked doing that. And that's what part of what this is. This is a seat cushion from the 1994 Super Bowl between Dallas and the Bills. Might have been the last one that the Bills lost of their 4. And he got tickets for me and Bruce. And Bruce drove over. We were in Knoxville at the time. And first that night we went to an Arkansas-Tennessee basketball game. I don't remember who won. Then we drove down to Atlanta to watch the Super Bowl. But actually, when we were pretty close to that, was it Cowboy Ray or what? I don't know who he was. The guy that always dressed, the black guy that always dressed up in the cowboy stuff. And which is kind of a big part of Dallas Cowboy history. Real friendly guy. This was some of the swag they gave. There's some other things in there from that Super Bowl. But because of him, I was able to go to a Super Bowl. It was a lot of fun. There's some other kind of random pictures of people he worked with. Karen Tobin. That talks about, this is a letter to him from her. Oh, she says, Dear Philip, with 2 L's, hope you can find room for this on your wall. Karen. That was sweet. Then another one from Amberly Woner. And then it's nice little note. Dear Philip, with 1 L, thank you for all your kindness and help in my career. And he did. He would always work with these up-and-comers, people trying to make it that were trying to bust in. And that really energized him. He just loved doing that kind of stuff. So, I don't see anything else here to mention. Well, one of his little notepad.